always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to some beginnings and ultimately some endings. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. John Galsworthy wrote, "The beginnings and endings of all human undertakings are untidy. The building of a house, the writing of a novel, the demolition of a bridge, and eminently the finish of a voyage." Unquote. And I could add the hopeful beginning of a relationship and its sometimes messy end. An American folk saying states things fall apart so things can fall together. So let's begin the hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. The Manhattans at the end of a long, secret affair, and kiss and say goodbye, and a beginning and an ending, all in one simple glance in the song You're Beautiful by James Blunt. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Our crocuses are up. And again, the great cycle of life is set to repeat itself. All of our fish seem to have survived the winter in our backyard pond. And isn't that the same with we humans as well? If we can survive the winter in our hearts, we too will emerge stronger. Just don't expect it to be easy. The butterfly that emerges from the cocoon often has to struggle and fight its way out. It was the author Richard Bach who wrote, "What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls a butterfly." So let's begin the journey with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com.
Just slow down.
Kelly Rowland with Unity, Dido's White Flag, and Sheryl Crow Always on Your Side. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Sophia Loren believed mistakes are part of the dues one pays for a full life. Mary Pickford, the actress, once believed if you have made mistakes, there is always another chance for you. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose, for this thing we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and quoted in First Aid for the Soul, published in 1998 by Peter Popper Press, wrote, "You will never grow if you sit in a beautiful flower garden. But you will grow if you are sick, if you are in pain, if you experience losses, and if you do not put your head in the sand." And finally, Faith Ringgold wrote, "I'm inspired when I walk down the street and still see people trying. A lot of them look as if they're on their last leg, but they're still getting up somehow." Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life Again, and Michael Bolton, When I'm Back on My Feet Again. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Lillian Hellman said, "People change and don't tell each other." That quote was contained in the book Born for Love, Reflections on Loving by Leo Buscaglia, a Slack publication distributed by Random House. And that quote gives you a little bit of an idea about one of the reasons why I decided to call this program Lovers and Other Strangers. This is what Leo had to say on the subject of new beginnings, and I quote, "The essence of life is renewal. If we are truly alive, we are reborn every day. We cannot assimilate even the most insignificant thing without being affected by the experience. Every minute offers the potential for newness and discovery, for realization and actualization, for new opportunities to love and be loved. We spend most of our lives among the same people day in and day out. On the surface, they appear unchanging, and it does not occur to us that perhaps beneath their surface, a whole world of change may be going on, undetected and unappreciated. Even if we resist change, it is said that at the moment we are born, we are already moving on our inevitable path to death. It is no secret that our bodies undergo dramatic changes. It should be as acceptable that our minds, our tastes, our opinions, our beliefs, and our dreams are also changing each day. Lovers know that they can never assume anything about the people they love. They must allow each person, each object, each day, each moment to tell its own story. They know that their senses may betray them, but that through love they are encouraged toward the acceptance of a lifetime of new beginnings. Unquote Leo Buscaglia from his book Born for Love, Reflections on Loving, a Slack publication distributed by Random House. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. It was Meister Eckhart who wrote truly, "It is in the darkness that one finds the light." So, when we are in sorrow, then this light is nearest of all to us. And Catherine Dunham wrote, "Go within every day and find the inner strength so that the world will not blow your candle out." Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. A song about a relationship that didn't even get a chance to begin in the movie Titanic, but it was the beginning of a new life for the character by the name of Rose. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, from Titanic, and Elton John's Candle in the Wind. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. From the book Beginning Again by Will Lemon comes this quote from T.S. Eliot. What we call the beginning is often an end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. The words of T.S. Eliot, something to consider as we near the end of the month of March 2010. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.